Hello and welcome to Treasury Notes, a financial education program from the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office. I'm your host, Gina Joins. As the banker of state government, West Virginia State Treasurer Riley Moore also oversees several office programs dedicated to helping individuals achieve personal financial stability. The Smart 529 program helps families plan for a child's future. The Jumpstart Savings Program helps West Virginians save money for expenses they will face in pursuing a career in a skilled trade or vocation. WV Able is a tax-advantaged savings and investment program for people with disabilities. Then there is West Virginia Retirement Plus. It is a supplemental retirement savings plan for state and local public employees. West Virginia Retirement Plus is administered by Empower Retirement on behalf of the State Treasurer's Office. Joining me now to discuss the Retirement Plus program is Catherine Preston, a local in-state representative for Empower Retirement. Catherine, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, let's just start with some of the basic information for the retirement plan. West Virginia Retirement Plus is a 457B supplemental retirement plan. How is this different from other retirement plans that we've heard about?
Okay. 457B plans are supplemental retirement plans that are offered specifically to government employees. They are employer-sponsored plans that allow the employees to save additional money for retirement over and beyond their state pension.
So it's a lot of people think of 401ks. This is similar, but there are some differences.
Yes, very similar, just some different IRS guidelines.
And Empower Retirement manages West Virginia Retirement Plus on behalf of the State Treasurer's Office through a contract. Can you explain Empower's role?
Yes, Empower currently has the contract with the state of West Virginia to serve as the record keeper for the 457 plan. So we serve as an administrative, educational, and record keeper for the plan. We are the second largest retirement services company in the country and the largest within government markets.
So Empower does do a lot of these other types of plans around the country for states.
Yes.
And you work for Empower, but you're based right here in West Virginia, which I think is a huge advantage to our state and local employees who take advantage of the plan. Can you explain your duties as a plan advisor and how you cover the state?
Yep. So my title is Retirement Plan Advisor, and there's actually two of us housed here within the state of West Virginia. So it's myself and Tammy Holstein. Tammy covers the southern part of the state, and I cover the northern part of the state. And as plan advisors, we're solely dedicated to the state of West Virginia's plan. So we're a part of that educational resource, so we can help employees better understand the features and benefits of the plan, as well as help them with retirement planning. So we do what's called a retirement readiness review. We can sit down with employees, talk to them about their specific retirement goals, and really just take them through a review to help them know where they stand and what they're on the road to work towards and help them reach those goals.
And so you're not working with other state plans, just West Virginia?
Just West Virginia, yep. And we are a free resource. It doesn't cost any money to meet with us, and we're not commissioned, we're salaried employees. So our only goal is to help people retire.
And I'm sure people appreciate the fact that they can call up someone right here in the state of West Virginia to get their questions answered, because a lot of times people do have questions about this plan.
Right, and we do a lot of on-site. We travel around to the different offices, so we can do in-person meetings, but we're also available by phone and virtual meetings as well.
And people can go to the website if they want more information on how to get in contact with you. Is that correct?
Yes, wv457.com, and you don't have to already be enrolled or set up with a username and password. You just click on Plan Resources and you can get our contact information, as well as a link to, we have an online scheduling tool where you can actually see when we're available and book meetings with us. Which is
pretty handy. And,
yes.
And you, as you said, you do both in-person meetings, but you'll also do phone consultations, and you can do planning through just like a Teams meeting or some other type of digital meeting.
Yep, we do virtual meetings through WebEx. So we want to make ourselves convenient for whatever works for the different agencies and employees.
All right, let's go back to talking a little bit more specifics about West Virginia Retirement Plus. It is a supplemental retirement plan. Let's talk about why it is important to have a supplemental plan and why people would want to participate in this plan.
So most of the state employees are paying into Social Security, and they're also paying into the West Virginia State pension. That's going to be their two biggest income sources in retirement. But what most people don't understand or realize is that both of those income sources together may not be enough to replace 100% of our working income before we retire. So unfortunately, a lot of people find their income going down when they retire, or they can't retire as soon as they would like to, and they end up working longer.
So it's really another prong to your retirement savings, and it's an important piece of that puzzle for public employees.
Absolutely, yeah. It can really serve as a great supplemental. That's why we call it a supplemental plan, but a supplemental income source for you to use to help you reach a goal or maybe retire at an age that you would like to.
All right, and we talk about state employees, but I want to ask you the question about who can sign up for West Virginia Retirement Plus, because there may be others out there who are eligible.
Yeah, so all state employees are eligible, but there are a lot of local government agencies across the state that are also participating in the plan and offer it to their employees. So some county commissions, school boards, municipalities, health departments, those types of political subdivisions as well.
So if you work for a municipality, your the place you work for would have to adopt the plan first.
Yes.
And offer it to you. And now if you're one of those employees, but you're not sure if the entity you work for has adopted the plan, what do you need to do? Go to your HR person?
Yep, go to your HR department and find, if you have a payroll coordinator or maybe you have a benefits coordinator, that person should know if they are enrolled, and if so, they should have the information on that.
And if they're not, they can contact you, right?
Yes, yep, they can reach out. We're more than happy to sit down and meet with elected officials or other HR representatives at the different local governments to talk to them about why it might be beneficial to offer something like this to employees.
Okay, and there are investment options with Retirement Plus. So people have they can choose how to invest their dollars and where to put their money to some extent. Is that correct?
Yes. So the state treasurer's office, as the plan sponsor, selects the investment option lineup to offer to the plan. There's 23 different mutual funds that people can choose from. We also have a fixed interest account. So it doesn't matter where you might fall on the investment style spectrum. We have aggressive, moderate, and conservative options that would fit your suitability.
And if I as an employee would feel like I don't know what to pick, I don't have any idea, and I need some guidance, you have options for that as well.
Right, yes, we do offer a managed account service where we can professionally manage your investments for you. We'll pick them, and then it's ongoing management. We do assess an additional fee for that service, but that is available for anybody who wouldn't feel comfortable selecting their own investment options.
Yeah, so it's you can pick the way you want to use this,
right,
exactly. In a sense. And speaking about options, I want to get into the fact that West Virginia Retirement Plus also offers a Roth option. So let's talk a little bit about that. Can you explain the difference between this option and just the traditional plan?
Yes, so it's all a 457B plan, but it does allow you to do two different contribution types. And that would be a traditional or a pre-tax contribution type, or the Roth contribution that you spoke of, which is an after-tax contribution. So the money that you contribute into your 457 retirement account is payroll deducted, and you choose whether you want that to be deducted on a pre-tax or an after-tax basis. And you can do both. So with the traditional or the pre-tax, the money that you're contributing is going to come out of your gross pay before your income tax does. So you have not paid tax on that money. The tax is withheld when you distribute the money. So you've retired or you've separated from service. Roth is just the opposite. Those contributions are deferred after your income tax has already come out. So you've already paid the tax on that. Distributions of your contributions and your investment earnings for that Roth can be distributed tax-free as long as you meet the IRS distribution guidelines. And those guidelines are the account has to have been open for 5 years and you have to at least be age 59 and a half.
And when we're talking about how to contribute, this is a question I'm sure you sometimes get. You can't just take money out of the bank and put it into this account, right? It does have to come from your paycheck,
yes,
regardless of whether you choose the traditional or Roth option,
yes,
correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And there are some fees associated with it, but I imagine the economies of scales help keep those fees down pretty low.
Yes, so because it is an employer-sponsored plan, you're investing your money with about 17 to 18,000 other employees. That's how many participants are currently enrolled in the plan. So you do get institutional pricing. So the fees that you pay, it's going to depend on the investment option that you choose. So most investment options have two different fees. One is an admin fee, which goes to Empower for our record keeping services. And the other is called an expense ratio. You may have also heard it referred to as a fund fee, but that is set and assessed by the investment holding firm. The fixed interest account right now, currently there are no fees associated with that option.
Okay. And people often come to you with questions. If people do have questions about this and maybe they're a participant or maybe they want to just learn more about this option as a possibility for them, who do they need to contact and what's the best way to learn more?
Okay, so you've got lots of different options if you have questions or need help. We do have a customer care center at Empower, so you can call 1-800-551-4218 and they are able to help you and answer questions. The Treasurer's office, you can call the Treasurer's office. They can also answer your questions. You can reach out to Tammy or myself as well.
And the website is a great resource as well.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that. It's WV457.com. Offers a lot of information that can help people, including access to participants' account information. So if you are a participant, you would start there and log into your account. There's also some neat tools on the website. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes.
Because I think, you know, when you go on the website, there's some newer features. They're
Yes.
not new, but they're newer features that are really interesting if you take some time to look at them and just type in some numbers.
Right, yeah. So I encourage everybody who is enrolled to get signed up with the username and password because first, it's a really great way to access your account. You can view your statements, you can update your beneficiary online, and if you're managing your own investments, you can actually make changes online. But aside from all that, we have a lot of different financial calculators and planning tools that you can use. You can link or aggregate your outside accounts so that you can get a full financial picture of all of your different accounts, whether it be savings, credit card, home mortgage loan, and that way you have everything in one place and then you can utilize that information within the different tools. So we have a savings planner, we have a retirement planner, there's a budgeting, so whether you're trying to set a budget or maybe just get control of your spending habits, there's a ton of different resources and tools that can really give you helpful information.
And I think if you have a spouse, you can throw in their information on there,
Yes.
right? So really, if you use this tool, you can get a much more comprehensive picture of what you're
Absolutely.
looking at in retirement and kind of have everything all in one place, right?
Right. Yeah. If you link everything together, that's what I've did it on mine. Is then you get transaction flow and spend data from all of your different cards and sources. So again, it can really help you if you're trying to set a budget and stick to it. If you have something you're saving for, vacation, whatever the case may be, it can really help you put things into perspective.
Okay, a great resource. Again, that website is WV457.com. Offers a lot of information, resources, and tools to help you plan for retirement. Catherine, this is some great information about West Virginia Retirement Plus. Right now, we are going to pause for a short break, and when we return, we will talk more about the West Virginia Retirement Plus plan and talk more with Catherine Preston. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The West Virginia State Treasurer's Vault is holding millions in unclaimed property. From uncashed checks to forgotten utility deposits, we want to return your money to you. Find out if you have unclaimed property. Search your name at wvtreasury.com.
Welcome back to Treasury Notes. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Gina Joins. Today we are talking about West Virginia Retirement Plus, a supplemental retirement plan available to public employees around the state of West Virginia. Joining me is Catherine Preston, a local advisor for the plan through Empower Retirement. Catherine, we've had a great conversation about West Virginia Retirement Plus, the state's 457 plan. And a lot of people may be asking, well, this is interesting. I want to get involved. If someone is interested in signing up for this plan, how should they get started?
So you can go to the website, again, wv457.com, and download the enrollment form. So there's two forms. One is called an enrollment form, the other is called a participation agreement. Fill those out and you can turn those into payroll. You can also get the forms from your payroll or benefits coordinator, or call the treasurer's office, they can get you those as well.
And for anyone who's just joining us, I do want to take a step back and remind people that West Virginia Retirement Plus is for public employees. That can be state public employees. It also can be local subdivisions, and your municipality would have had to adopt the plan. So if you're a worker out there and you don't know if your employer offers this, the first question is to go to your payroll coordinator and ask them if it's available to you. If it's not, you can go out and talk to the municipalities, talk to the payroll coordinators about possibly adopting the plan. And of course, employees around the state of West Virginia who are state employees have the option already to go online, download those forms, and turn it into their payroll coordinator or HR representative.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So really a lot of options for people. It's so easy. We don't talk about that enough, probably, that this is a pretty simple process for people to get started. And then once they get started, when we talk about any type of savings, we talk about frequency and how often you're contributing. So to keep your savings on track, you can do automatic contributions through this plan. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so the contributions are automatically payroll deducted. After you get enrolled, you decide how much you want deducted. The minimum is just $10 a paycheck, so it's not a ton. That is an amount that can be changed at any time, but once you set that amount, it automatically is deducted from your pay each pay period, so you don't have to do any work saving. It just makes it very automatic for you.
Yeah, $10, I mean, that's... that's less than you probably pay for your lunch some days.
Right.
And so that's pretty easy. And then you could elect to do more if you want to do that automatic contribution. You can absolutely do more than the minimum of $10, and you have the option to change it throughout. If you get a raise or you change positions, you have the option to make changes, and it's a pretty simple process to make those changes, right?
Yes, so changes in the contribution amount, right now it's done through your payroll, but you would just go and fill out a form to increase it if you want to increase it. It's a voluntary program, so if you needed to decrease it or freeze the contributions, you can do that as well.
Right. So, and you just go to your own employer. You don't have to go to Empower or the treasurer's office. That paperwork will make its way to the right people. Yes. And then I guess the other question, we talk about the minimum you can contribute, but what are the limits? There are some limits to contributions, correct?
Yes. Maximum limits for 2023 is $22,500 if you're under the age of 50. Once you reach age 50 or above, that annual limit goes up to $30,000.
And that's considered a catch-up provision, I think, is
yes, that's a catch-up provision for people over the age of 50. 457B plans also do what's called a special catch-up contribution, where if you are 3 years from your normal retirement age, and that would be set by your state pension. So whatever tier you fall under the state pension, whatever that first eligibility age is, 3 years before that, you could actually do what again is called a special catch-up contribution, where the limit goes up to $45,000 a year.
But again, when we're talking about contributions, it all has to be done through your payroll coordinator.
Correct.
You can't just take it out of your savings account at the bank and then put money into this account.
457 retirement plans are what is called a deferred compensation, so the contributions are deferred from your pay.
All right. And there are so many benefits to this plan. I just want to give you some time to talk about some of the other benefits, because there are a lot of perks or benefits to just participating in this plan and making it worth your while if you're a member.
Right. Yeah. Big benefit is that consistent automatic saving to help you, have additional money to pull from when you do retire. And then your investment, any earnings you get on your investments, those are going to grow tax deferred. So if you're doing the pre-tax contributions, you're not paying tax when the money is deferred from your pay. You're also not paying tax on the earnings on any investments until you distribute the money from the account.
Okay, we're talking about West Virginia Retirement Plus, the state's deferred compensation plan. If we're talking about retirement planning in general, let's just talk about that. What are some things that people need to know when they're deciding to plan for retirement?
Lots of different things to think about, and that's where some one-on-one time with Tammy or I can really walk you through everything of the plan. But I will say one of the most important things to do is make sure you have a beneficiary on your account. We see this happen all the time. This is something that you also want to keep up to date. So it's important to set one initially, but then as the years go on, you want to make sure you keep it up to date as certain life events happen. If you get married, divorced, birth, death, you just want to be able to keep that up to date.
Yeah, unexpected things happen in life, circumstances changes. So revisiting the beneficiary piece of this plan is probably pretty important. What happens if you don't name a beneficiary?
If there's nobody named on your account, or maybe the person that is named has also passed, the account will go to your estate through the probate process. But again, naming that beneficiary and keeping it up to date can help bypass that.
Yeah, number one thing to do, name a beneficiary because you want to make sure the money goes where you want it to go if you're not here.
Yep.
What about rollovers? A lot of people switch jobs. They move into state employment or out of state employment. How does it work with this, since it's not an apples to apples equivalent to some other private plans?
Right. So if you're currently enrolled, but you have outside retirement accounts, for example, maybe you had a 401k from a previous job, or maybe you have a traditional IRA, there are certain retirement accounts that are eligible to be rolled in. So you can roll money into your 457 from eligible outside retirement accounts. Once you separate service, you're also able to roll your 457 out into an outside retirement account, like a 401 at your next job, or maybe a traditional IRA. One thing I will want to say to that is consider all of your options before moving money in between accounts and check all the fees and plan features before you move money around. Because, for example, with the 401 or a traditional IRA, the IRS has a guideline for early withdrawal penalties. So even if you retire before age 59 and a half, the IRS would penalize you 10% if you took money out of a 401 or a traditional IRA, for example, before that age. That 10% with early withdrawal penalty does not apply to a 457, but if you roll a 401 into your 457, it would still apply to that balance that came in from the 401. And same if you're rolling a 457 out into a 401, that 457 then would take on the more stringent rules, so you then could not access that money until you reached age 59 and a half. So again, just consider all of the different plan features and fees before moving money around.
And if you, let's say you're a state worker and you are no longer employed by the state, you don't have to roll that money. You can freeze that money in the account until it's time to withdraw it, right?
Yeah. Once you separate service, whether that's through retirement or maybe you just left your employment at the state, you have several different options. One being you don't have to do anything. If you're no longer on payroll for a state or local government agency, you can't continue to contribute, but you don't have to take the money out. It'll still stay in your account. It'll still be invested, and you can still make changes to your investments. If you're ready to take withdrawals, you can do a lump sum withdrawal. You can do a one-time withdrawal, or you can set up installment payments. And just to kind of touch on this one more time, as long as you have pre-tax contributions, it doesn't matter the age that you separate service, you would be able to take that money out. But if you do any Roth contributions, you would have to wait until age 59 and a half to start withdrawing the Roth contributions, even if you have retired.
So with the traditional West Virginia Retirement Plus account, it's interesting because, like you said, it's a little different than some of the other plans that are out there where after you separate service, you can start doing a withdrawal.
Yes, you can. Regardless, if it's a pre-tax contribution, regardless of your age, you would be able to start doing.
And that's not always the same idea with a traditional like 401k that you might get in the private sector.
Or if you have a traditional IRA at a bank, again, even if you retired before age 59 and a half, you would not be able to withdraw that money without getting hit with a penalty from the IRS.
Okay. We're talking with Catherine Preston about the West Virginia Retirement Plus plan. It's a plan through the State Treasurer's Office, and Empower Retirement has the contract for that plan. And it's great that the state has 2 in-state representatives to talk to participants about their plan whenever they want, so they can make an appointment at any time.
Yes.
Let's talk about how they can do that if they want to contact you.
Yeah, again, to get Tammy and I's contact information, you can go to wv457.com and click on Plan Resources. You don't even have to log in. You'll see our pictures there, a map of the state that shows the areas that she and I cover. It has our telephone number if you want to give us a call. It has our email address if you want to email us, or you can click on our scheduling link to actually book an appointment. If you're just wanting to do a phone or a virtual, you can book that online. If you would like for us to come on site, just send us an email or reach out to us by phone and we can get something scheduled.
Some great resources. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us here today. Always great to talk with you, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, it's been a pleasure, and that's all the time we have for the show. You can learn more about the State Treasurer's Office and all the programs by visiting wvtreasury.com. You can also stay up to date on the latest news and information from the office. Just like and follow WV Treasury on your favorite social media platform. Keeping you informed on the Library Television Network, I'm Gina Joins with the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office.